Hi, welcome to the Coffee Hour, a show that involves you in verbal interaction. We have the 2020 feature, Sports with Brian Camp, and Entertainment News with DJ Pete. So settle in with coffee in hand, and enjoy the Coffee Hour. Now here's your host, Frank Allan.
Good morning, TGIF. Thank God it's Friday, and here we are once again on a Friday morning as we gather around the breakfast table or wherever you are congregating right now, maybe even the water cooler. Hi, everybody. My name is Frank Allan, and here we are once again. The name of the show is called The Coffee Hour. This is a place where we meet every Friday morning around this time, and we get together, have coffee, and have a good time. And we invite all of you to come in. Those of you who are here for the very first time, here's how the show operates. As we congregate together, we also talk together, right? That means you could do the same thing. All you have to do is just type it right in there. I'll see you right there on the big screen. I will acknowledge it. You may have questions. You may have just want to join in the conversation. And that's exactly what we want to do. Sometimes a lot of people don't like to join in conversation. They just want to sit back and relax and just watch the show. You can do that too. Although it's always nice to talk to you and hear from you and to acknowledge you as well. But whatever you choose, as long as you're here, and if you could stay for the whole entire hour, that would be great. If not, whatever time you could spend with us. Now, a lot of you may be at work right now, and you may be in the same time zone as I am. All right, because it's after 10 o'clock in the morning here in New York. That's where we originate. And you may be on your coffee hour. Now, if you're on your coffee hour, coffee hour, coffee break, however you want to put it. I don't think they get coffee hours in a corporate world anymore, but they get coffee breaks, right? So you may get that 15-minute coffee break. And if you get that, that'll be fine. And take that coffee break, stay at your desk, at your computer, watch the show. And when the coffee break is over, you could go right back to work, and you could do a thing what they call multitasking. So we have all of that. Now, for those of you who are new, here's another thing that you should know. We come from 3 different areas. We come on Facebook Live, we're on YouTube, and we're also on Instagram Live too, as well. So you can choose any one of those places, and you'll be right there with us. And listen, no matter where you go around the world, we're right there. We're global. So tell your friends and family and all of your relatives to join us. Now, if you're watching us on Facebook Live, well, this is what I want you to do. Take the time and take the show and connect with others. You can do that by tagging your friends, the friends that you have on Facebook, tag them. If you don't want to tag all of them, maybe a selective or maybe 1 or 2, whatever. The more the merrier. Just tag them, and what they'll see, that notification come up if they're online, and they'll see it coming from you. They'll click on, and it'll bring them right directly to us. They will see you, they will see me, and everyone else who's here. They can talk to you, they can talk to me, and everyone who's here too. If you're watching us on YouTube, I always encourage you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can do that by pressing that button that says subscribe. It's right there in red or black or whatever, but it does say subscribe. And all you have to do is take your mouse and click onto it. That's all. You don't have to pay for anything. We charge nothing here. And all you have to do is do that. And when you subscribe to my YouTube channel, that'll give you a chance to know that when we ever come on live, or if we so much as post a video or a photo, you get notification. And all you have to do is click onto that notification, and it brings you right to the YouTube channel, and you'll see what's happening here. And those of you who are watching us on Instagram, thank you so much. All you have to do is just continue to follow us and continue to tell your family and friends, keep that word percolating. We've got a lot of things to talk about today. Some of the things that we're going to talk about today, we discussed last night, because a lot of you may not have seen the show last night, Talk Back Live. We're on every Thursday night, but I'll give you more information about that later before we go off the air. We'll talk a lot about that. We will do, in conjunction with interacting with you, we'll do our regular features. We have our 2020 feature. We have sports, 20 after the hour with Brian Camp. We link up with him from Charlotte, North Carolina, from New York to Charlotte. And he's going to be here live. You'll get a chance to see him. You'll get a chance to meet him. If you're on Instagram, you won't be able to have that luxury of actually seeing him, but you can hear him. But the rest of you, Facebook, YouTube, you'll get a chance to see him. He'll be here. And he has the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. It's 20 past the hour, 20 to the hour. DJ Pete normally comes along with his portion, 20 to the hour, his portion of the second part of the 2020 feature, which he does, entertainment news. And what he does with that, he'll do that news. And then, of course, he'll recite all of those birthdays who are celebrating this week, people of notoriety. However, he won't be here today. I spoke to him not too long ago, and, he's under the weather. So we hope that he feels better, but he did leave us information, and we're going to relay it to all of you. Also, later on in the program, before the show is over, we have all of those movies that you like. Now, we have from the Turner Classic Movies, right? You like those classic movies? Well, a lot of you like to catch up on movies on the weekend. In conjunction with doing whatever you do on the weekends, some of the things may be catching up on movies. And I just want to add a couple of movies to your bucket list on what to watch this weekend. I have quite a few of them, so we'll have them all for you. They'll come for you, and we'll have all of that. That's coming up later on in the show, in the hour. Remember, all of the things and all of the views and the opinions expressed on the show, The Coffee Hour, does not necessarily reflect the view or the opinion of the people on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Zoom, or any other social media outlet, or even the broadcast publications. So we got that out of the way. So ladies and gentlemen, let's raise our cups. We're getting started. After all, what would the coffee hour be without a little coffee? So excuse me while I shoot up. What would I do without it? What would I do without it? I want to say hello to Warren. He's out there right now, once again, out of North Carolina, Greensboro, North Carolina. He's in with us, and we're watching him. He's watching us. So thank you, Warren, for being out there. So many things happening, and welcome, by the way. It's St. Patrick's Day. So we're celebrating the luck of the Irish. Now, I don't own a green tie. I don't wear any green, but I do have these green beads that I have. So I am wearing my green. It's just that I don't own a green tie. I never owned a green tie. I don't have any use for a green tie. I always thought that wearing a green tie was, it just wasn't my thing, because of the fact that I never had anything to match a green tie and a green suit or anything like that. But if someone gave me a green tie, I would put it to use. I would use it for this occasion every year. But in the meantime, I'm going to have to settle for these green beads. I have a green cap that I wore to the gym this morning, but I don't think it's appropriate to wear because it has advertising on the top, and we don't advertise here. I'm wearing my green. I hope you're wearing your green. And in New York, we're going to have the St. Patrick's Day Parade, which is going to kick off at 11 o'clock our time, 11 o'clock. And that's after I get off the air here, right on Fifth Avenue. And you know something, I'm not really that far away from where the parade site is going to be. So maybe I'll pop over. Who knows? I don't know. We'll see. But there is a parade going there. And from wherever you are, I'm pretty sure wherever you are, there's parades going on in different parts of the country, different parts of the world where they're celebrating St. Patrick's Day. I'm pretty sure you'll have that going for you. But be very careful. And if you're in New York, especially the people in New York, don't drive in. Take the subway in to Fifth Avenue. Take the subway if you can. It's not going to be good for traffic, and I can tell you that right now. And leave the booze home. All right. But I do know that after the parade, there's going to be a lot of things going on. I think every bar, pub, and saloon is going to be wide open for tonight. Tonight is going to be a big celebration, and the people who own bars and saloons and pubs, they're going to be making a lot of money tonight. I can guarantee you that. So anyway, there's a lot of things happening today, and of course, in conjunction with the St. Patrick's Day, we're also celebrating Women's History Month. We're not going to forget to tell you about that. With Women's History Month, women have been doing so many great things over the years, and they came a long way, and they still have a long way to go. They're working jobs now, as you already know, jobs that men used to do. You know, jobs that men used to do, women work side by side with them, whether they're on the construction site or whether they're driving a bus or a subway train or anything like that. They're entrepreneurs, they own their own businesses, they don't work for anyone, and they do their own thing. So, and they came a long way, because remember, there was a time when they couldn't even vote. So, you know, the women that were way ahead of them, you should thank them for that, because they went through the mill to get you guys where you are today. But we want to congratulate and salute, not with just my right hand, but my left hand too, both hands. I just want to salute the women out there around the world. And thank you so much. And if you want to mention anything about St. Patrick's Day, or maybe even talk about Women's History Month, you want to talk about that too, that's fine and dandy. We'll talk about it. Like I said, all you have to do is type on the big screen and we'll see you out there. Now, if you care to engage in conversation, what I'm going to ask you to do, if you would, is to give us your weather forecast wherever you are. You know, mine is different from yours. I'm here in New York and you may be elsewhere. So anywhere you are around the world, or in a different country or a different city somewhere in the United States, let us know what your weather forecast is. And if you live in the New York area or in the vicinity of New York City, don't worry about that. I will take care of that for you. You guys dodged bullets, so you sit back and relax and just enjoy the show. So there you go. So now, like I said, St. Patrick's Day, Women's History Month, and we're all here together. So let's get started right away. What we can do is get the weather going. Why don't we do that? Let's get the weather going and see what we got going for our weather. So let's take a look at that. What is the temperature today? We're going to look at that right now. We got a temperature current. It's right now, it's 49 degrees here in New York City, 49 degrees. And the weather is kind of getting warmer. The weather, you know, temperatures seesaw up and down. But it's 49 degrees and it's only after 10 o'clock right now. And this is what the weather looks like for your day and for your weekend. It's going to be mostly cloudy today. We'll have mostly cloudy skies, slight chance of an afternoon shower. We'll have a high around 58 degrees. Winds will be south at 5 to 10 miles per hour. For tonight, cloudy skies, slight chance of rain showers, and we'll have a low around 41 degrees. Winds will be west-southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. If you're going out, you might want to take that folding umbrella with you, put it in your bag, and at least you'll have it. You may not need it, but at least you'll have it. For tomorrow, Saturday, this is what gets better. Sunshine along with some clouds, intervals of clouds, but it doesn't say anything about rain. We'll have a high around 53 degrees, and winds will be west-northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. For Saturday night, if you're going out, a few clouds on the horizon. No rain in the forecast, though. We'll have a low around 31 degrees. Winds will be west at 10 to 15 miles per hour. And the outlook for Sunday, as we wrap up our weekend and get ready to go back to the grind on Monday. Sunday is going to be partly cloudy. No rain in the forecast, high 42 degrees, and winds will be west at 10 to 20 miles per hour. And repeating our current temperature here in New York, we have 49 degrees and it's climbing. So we're getting ready for a weekend. We're getting ready to do what everybody normally does for the weekend and a little bit more. And we're going to look over in Greensboro, North Carolina, where Warren is. He has rain in the forecast for today. He's got 53 degrees on the horizon for today in Greensboro, North Carolina. So we have the sunshine over here a little bit anyway, just a little bit, you know, but keep the rain where you are. I know Brian gets rain over there and he's got 57 degrees right now, 57 degrees, cloudy skies, and it's going to be much rain. He's got a lot of rain coming along. What does that mean? Does that mean we're going to get whatever you get? I don't know. Anyway, he's got a lot of rain coming along. And he's going to have a high around 65 degrees for today. And that's better than what we have here. But 65 degrees, but it's going to be a lot of rain over in Charlotte, North Carolina. And of course, Brian, who tell us more about that when he comes in. And of course, he's got the sports coming up. That's coming up in just about a little over 5 minutes from now. So we're looking forward to a big weekend. Now, the rest of you who are going to join in the conversation, please, we're going to ask you as well, if you, it's not mandatory, but if you would, you know, if you have any pity on me, I'm playing a pity game. No, you can, you know, if you would, you know, give us your weather forecast. So it's a good day for the parade today. We're not going to have a damper on the parade today here in New York. So we're looking forward to that. I don't know if they're going to televise it. I don't know. I think they did it one time. I don't know if they're going to televise it this year, but we'll see. But if you're going out, again, if you're living in New York and you're going out to the parade on Fifth Avenue, you know, be very careful. There's going to be a big crowd, one of the biggest parades in New York. And so we look forward to that. We look forward to that. Singer Bobby Caldwell, known for his smooth, blue-eyed soul voice, is dead. He died after battling a illness for several years. Bobby, who you already know him with his biggest hit, What You Won't Do for Love. Remember that big hit he did back in the 70s? Well, he died in his sleep Tuesday night at his home in New Jersey. Bobby was 71 years old. So he left us a big legacy of great music and plus that big hit that came along so much. And if I remember, when they released that song, What You Won't Do for Love, if I can remember, they released it on Valentine's Day. And they released a copy, a limited copy of the record shaped like a heart. You know, I wonder if I can get a copy of that somewhere. Someone in the world has it. If anyone has that, I never even seen it, but they would, when they released that song back then, it was on Valentine's Day, and they released it on a heart-shaped record. Something. Anyway, we're gonna miss him. We're gonna miss his music, and we'll just keep our prayers open for his family and friends and all of the fans who enjoyed him so much, and I'm included, enjoy his music so much. Bobby Caldwell, dead at the age of 71 years old. And moving right along too, you know that if you guys are on social media, we have all kinds of things going on. We have Facebook that we're on right now. We have YouTube and all other social medias, and they're expanding, more and more coming. You got TikTok, which, by the way, TikTok, as you already know, if you heard about it, it's a possibility, but we'll keep our fingers crossed. Hopefully it won't happen, but it's a possibility that it may be a ban from the United States. You heard about that. It was on the news. It's all over the news. It's a possibility that it will be banned from the United States. And we hope that that in China, where I think they own it or own the profit or a big portion of it, we hope that they come to some kind of agreement where it won't happen that way. Because a lot of people are talking about TikTok, they were concerned about privacy. And of course, we're all concerned about our privacy, no matter what site that we go, and even shopping. And they also had it, I saw in the news, watching in the green room before I came on the air, on Amazon, if you go into one of those Amazon stores, I know here in our area, I'm not sure about other areas, but in certain areas, you go to an Amazon store, they have your information. They're kind of like, they're screening everybody. I mean, look, all of us are under one big microscope, all of us, one big microscope. And again, let's keep our fingers crossed, because TikTok, I want TikTok to stay around. That's one of the favorites of the young people. Not a lot of people. I don't own TikTok. I don't have a TikTok account. I don't care to. It's not my style, but it's mostly for younger people. And, you know, I go on and I watch some of the videos that they play on there. There are a lot of dances, and they like to display their wares. You know, the young people, they like to do that. And that's one of the platforms they had. And it's a very popular platform for young people to, who knows, maybe get to discover, just like some people get discovered on YouTube. That's the king of entertainment, the king of entertainment outlets. People watch it every day and they find something and they just like to get out there and display their wares out there. And Justin Bieber got famous because of TikTok. He was a TikTok sensation, and this is where he is today. So anyway, we'll keep our fingers crossed for all of you who have a TikTok account and want to keep that alive. And we hope it stays alive because it's an outlet for younger people, and we want to make younger people happy. We want to keep them happy. Okay. All right, let's go over to Charlotte, North Carolina, as we always link up. First part of our 2020 feature, Brian Camp out there with the latest developments in today's world of sports. And what do you think about this? Do you have a TikTok account?
No, I don't. No, I just have a Facebook account. I don't have Instagram. I don't have Twitter. No, I just keep it simple. Yeah. I just go on there really just for sports debate. I know that the other two, Twitter and Instagram, have sports debates, but I stick with Facebook.
I'm off Twitter altogether. You can forget that.
I mean, it's basically all the same. I know that you could talk to some of the celebrities on Twitter, I believe, or I think it's a Twitter, yeah. And
a lot of them dropped off too.
Yeah, so I don't really get in touch with, don't stay too much with that involved. So that's just me. So.
Okay, now listen, I want you to do a good show because Lynette is out there watching you. Lynette Duff out of the UK, but she spends a lot of time in Africa. She might as well move there. Anyway, Lynette, nice to see you again. Haven't seen you in a long time. It's been a long time. Okay, Brian, so it's yours. It's all yours.
Well, Lynette, I hope that you enjoy yourself, enjoying the show. The UK. Much respect. But good morning to you, and good afternoon, good evening to people out in Japan, and also as well too. It is, like I said, it is 59 degrees, getting rain. I know that our first fall of rain is supposed to start coming around 11 a.m. I was supposed to be out in my backyard cleaning up my smokers. My two smokers is, got to get them ready, got to vacuum them and get them ready because it's that time of the season. But I smoke all year round anyway. But there's no limit to time that I cannot smoke. So I smoke it all year round. Whatever meat that's need to be cooked, it gets smoked. If I see a deer running in my backyard, I'm gonna track it down. I'm gonna put them right in the smoker.
Are you cooking anything green?
No, I'm not cooking anything green. But
anything green.
I want to say happy Patrick's Day, St. Patrick's Day to my Irish brothers and sisters. I was gonna sing a rendition song of "Oh Danny Boy," but time would not allow me to. But
listen, when you finish your sports, I want to hear that.
Nah, I'll do that another time.
Oh no, you're not gonna get out of here. Anyway,
but I know you're right. The bars and everywhere is going to be full, packed to capacity, and just hope everybody stays safe. Stay safe. It's okay to drink. If you want to drink, you're going to drink, but just be safe. Don't drink and drive, and just enjoy yourself and enjoy your day. But on to sports. Sad news in Major League Baseball. Former Major League Baseball two-time World Series champion Jesus Alou, yes, one of the Alou brothers, passed away last week. Something always happens when we get off the show, every time. He was 80 years old. He's the youngest brother of the Dominican brothers of Felipe Alou and Matty Alou. They played in the same outfield together for the very first time. No other trio brothers that ever did that, on September 15th, 1963, and playing for the San Francisco Giants. So our prayers go out to him. Felipe is the oldest brother. He's still alive. Matty is the second oldest, and the youngest, Jesus, just passed away. Former legendary New York Yankee star first baseman Joe Pepitone died at the age of 82. Pepitone was a native Brooklynite, played for the New York Yankees from 1962 to 1969. Pepitone was known for a playful and charismatic personality who always had fun joking around in the clubhouse, and the Yankees players, they loved him, and he will be missed. So in the NBA, Memphis star basketball player Ja Morant will serve an 8th game suspension. He's actually going to be serving 2. As you know, last week he was appeared to be holding a gun on an Instagram video. It did not go well with the league. The league decided to give him an 8-game suspension. He served time in counseling too, which is part of the 8-game suspension. He should be able to eligibly to be played, to come back and play on Monday, because he was in a Florida facility seeking help, and he's only 23 years old. So we hope that this young man will get back on the right track. Michael Jordan is in talks of selling the majority owner of his shares of the Charlotte Hornets. He is this might be the end of him having total control. He served as 13 years as the owner. He paid $275 million for the majority stake in the franchise of 2019, but he gained a huge profit. It's somewhere worth now around $1.9 billion. So, we just wish him the best. There's a lot of talk on social media, good and bad, about Michael Jordan. Couldn't make it as an owner. But, let's see what happens. Aaron Rodgers is supposed to be coming to the Big Apple, not to play for the New York Giants, but to the New York Jets. He said he's intending to play. When will he make this announcement? We just don't know. Friday is always full of surprises. I'm telling you, there's always either somebody passing away, unfortunately, or there's always some news or breaking news. But he's supposed to be his intent is to play football for the New York Jets. So we wait and see when or whenever he does make this announcement. Well, it's that time of the year again. March Madness is here. March Madness, if you have not been part of March Madness over the years, you're missing a treat. College basketball finest time is a 3-weekend event where all the 64 teams get together in a tournament, one and done. And if you lose, you're out. If you win, you advance. A Cinderella team is when a team who is not expected to win somehow knock off a top team. It's more of a David and Goliath type of game matchup. And we had 2 of them. Furman beat Virginia, but the biggest one was Princeton University knocked off Arizona. So there's more to come. There's going to be. I just got a breaking news. Wait a minute, this is a breaking news. Cooper Rush has been signed. He's been signed. Cooper Rush. He's a football player. He's been signed. But back to what I was saying. Yeah, it's that time of the year, and it's going to be excitement. It's great to see fans that represent their schools, and it's intense. The adrenaline is going to be going. It's going to be going so fierce, and it's just going to be, the announcers get excited, and it's going to be fun. So stay tuned. You're going to have a slew of games coming on starting at 12 noon, and it's going to go all the way into the night for the first weekend. This day in sports, 1970, Peter O'Malley became the CEO of the Dodgers. 1994, it was announced that there is no smoking in Cleveland at the new ballpark that they have. That was in 1994. In 2020, the French Open, which is one of the tennis Grand Slams event, was postponed due to COVID-19. That was at 2020. That was the heat, right in the heart of the pandemic that claimed so many lives. But they had resumed it a couple of weeks later. Birthdays today. Cito Gaston, Major League Baseball player and manager, was born in San Antonio, Texas. He's also the first African-American to win a World Series as a manager. So happy birthday to him. Happy birthday to Danny Ainge, NBA guard, coach, and executive, and Major League Baseball player, was born in Eugene, Oregon. And ladies and gentlemen, that is sports on here in the Queen City, coming from where it's going to be a soaky, rainy day.
I'm sorry about that for you. I feel sorry for you. I don't think we're going to be out of the woods. Sometime maybe we'll get some of the rain that you normally send up here to us, but but I'm sorry.
Well, you know what? Well, you know, no, don't be sorry, because this rain is going to help get rid of this pollen that's going around. You know, it's that time of the year for the allergy seasons. You know, pollen is just killing everybody with, not killing, I shouldn't say killing, but it's just making everybody miserable with these allergies. And then it's just, you know, you wake up in the morning, you see your car all with a different color, yellow, and it's just crazy right now.
Yeah, and the sniffles, the sneezing, and the eye rubbing, and all of that. Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess I can understand that. Yeah. No, the rain has its purpose. You know, I say the rain. You know, when you're due for it, there's a reason for it. So, yeah. Okay. All right. But I'm looking for a lot of sunshine. We've had quite a bit of cold weather here, and then it gets warm. It's going to go up to 50 some odd degrees today here in New York. So, you know,
well, you know what? We are still in winter. And I tell this to everybody. It's still winter time. It's supposed to be cold, even though spring is supposed to be coming in the next week or two, but it's still cold, you know, it's still winter. So it's supposed to be like this.
And you know, something, I'm not going to rule out a dumping of snow just yet either.
Oh, yeah. February and March is supposed to be lots of snow. Yes.
What do they say? It comes in like a lion and grows out like a lamb. I think that's the one. Comes in like a lion and goes out like a lamb, or something. Anyway, so what's happening on the horizon for you this weekend?
Staying home, watching March Madness, NBA games. It's just going to be just me being home. This is what I love to do on the weekend. This is why I retired, and just sit back and, you know, start making some plans. I'm trying to go to Kansas City this year too, to go to the old Negro League Museum. Maybe I catch a Kansas City Royals and a Kansas City Chief game too in September, because that's when they still play together while the season is going on. But for this weekend, just gonna, if the rain holds up, I'm gonna definitely take care of my smokers. I gotta clean them out, gotta vacuum and get all the pellets out, because you don't want it to jam up with all that coldness in there.
Yeah. Okay, Brian, we're gonna catch you back here next week.
Next week, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So you have a good one.
Take care, everybody. Be safe. Take care.
Okay, that was Brian Camp, ladies and gentlemen, with the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. Thank him for being with us. Always great to talk to him about sports. That's why we have him here. He gives us information sometimes I don't even know about. You know, when we were on the air last night, I didn't realize until he mentioned it, I didn't realize that Michael Jordan was born in Brooklyn, New York. I mean, he wasn't raised there, but he was born there. I didn't realize that. But the most important thing, he's a Brooklyn boy, just like me. I was there before him, though. I had Brooklyn before he did, you know. But yeah, but that's good to know. And when Jesus Alou died, I didn't even know that. You know, I'm usually up on sports. I'm usually up on what's happening in sports. I guess it just passed me by. Sometimes the news just like pass you by. And just like a lot of people last week, I think it was last week, we mentioned the fact that actor Robert Blake died. And I got to tell you, unless it just passed me by, I didn't hear it on any of the news, the live news channels like CNN and anything now, but it was brought out by CNN and New York Times and all of that. So that made it official. But, you know, some people, you know, when you hear these deaths that come up, some people, they get a lot of notoriety on it and then some don't. You know, it's just like I remember the time when Michael Jackson died, the same day that Michael Jackson died, Farrah Fawcett died, but the attention went to Michael Jackson. So you hardly knew that Farrah Fawcett died. You know, see what I'm saying? I guess it depends on Who's Who. Anyway, if you're just watching us, you're just coming in, thank you so much for being along with us. The name of the show is called The Coffee Hour, where we sip coffee every week, or maybe green beer. Being that this is St. Patrick's Day, green beer. I don't think I'm going to touch green beer. I mean, I'll have one or two, but I don't think I'm going to touch a green beer. I mean, things are green. People are drinking green beer. People would be eating green bagels, green cupcakes, and green this and green that. The only thing I'll eat are green vegetables. I'll even eat the cabbage and corned beef and cabbage, which is an Irish dish as well. You know, but I don't think the green, because all of it has food coloring in it, the beer, the bagels, or whatever it have the green coloring on it. I'm not going to eat anything with it. I don't think I'll be in the mood for having any of that in my body, but doesn't mean I won't celebrate St. Patrick's Day. I still have green. Here's my green. Here's my green. And if I am handed a green tie at any time, I'll keep it in my rack. I'll keep it in my tie rack, but I'll only wear it once a year for the occasion of St. Patrick's Day. That's the only time I'll do it. Anyway, we're here with you, and Brian just wrapped up his portion of the 2020 feature. That's the first portion of the 2020 feature. We got the second portion coming up with DJ Pete, who's not going to be here today, but we have the information that he told us about, and we'll just convey that to you when that time comes along, 20 to the hour. Entertainment news and announcing and reciting those birthdays of people of notoriety. So there you go. If anybody had seen the Oscars, you know, there was a big thing about that. You know, I didn't watch the Oscars. I didn't watch it, and for good reason on my part. I don't watch the Oscars. I don't watch any of those award shows anymore. You know, I think, I don't know, for lack of a better term, they're all contaminated. I don't know. You basically know what's going to happen. Sometimes you don't know what's going to happen, but you kind of get the feeling that whatever you're expecting to happen won't happen, because it sometimes, as much as I hate to say it, it gets kind of political. I turned on to the Oscar for a quick second as I was channel surfing. And I turned on, and as soon as I turned it on, Jamie Lee Curtis was up on the stage, and she paid homage to, you know, the people that worked with her, her agent, and so forth and so on, and her manager, and even her mom and dad, Tony Curtis and Janet Leigh, who never won Oscars, by the way. They were nominated for Oscars, but never won Oscars. But their baby won an Oscar. Jamie Lee Curtis won an Oscar. So Jamie Lee Curtis is a Hollywood baby. And there was a big thing going on because she was supposed to be running up along with Angela Bassett. Angela Bassett was like the lead runner. And, you know, when you get to be the lead runner, it's like almost a sure thing that you win the prize, but she didn't. Jamie Lee Curtis beat her out. And I didn't see it in real time, but, you know, whenever they announce all of the nominees, whoever's going to win, and before they say, and the winner is, and they open the envelope, they have their little images in the boxes. You can see it in one cluster of boxes, you know. And so in this case, I think there were 5 of them, and including Jamie Lee Curtis and Angela Bassett and a couple of more. And when they announced Jamie Lee Curtis, you could see the facial expression on Angela Bassett. You know, you could see the disappointment, and there was another actress as well, but I can't remember her name, had the same facial expression. And in the past, they say, oh, you know something, if you don't win the Oscar, and if someone beats you out, you know, be a good sport and you clap, you know, be happy for them. But I don't think she was able to do it. I don't think she was able to do it. But I'm kind of glad one thing, though, about the Oscars, that they didn't have much drama this year. You know, you remember last year with the smack that was heard across the country, the Will Smith, Chris Rock fiasco. All right. I'm so glad they didn't have any of that. But I was kind of hoping that Angela Bassett would win. I was hoping that she would win. You know, again, I'm not too much on it or up on it anymore because I just don't, it's just not my cup of tea anymore. There was a time when I used to always watch the Grammys. Now the Grammy Awards, you know, it was like in my lane because of the fact that when I was a disc jockey, I always watched it because this way I could have something to talk about on the radio the following day on who won the Grammys for the best artist of the year or for the best hit or the best musician of the year or the trumpeter of the year or the trombone of the year, whatever they're running for. You know, I could always go back on the radio the following day and say, so-and-so won the Grammy Awards, and that's Grammy Awards is for music, Tony Awards is for the stage on Broadway, and the Oscars is for stage and screen. I mean, well, it's mostly screen. And you have all of these different award shows, and I don't watch them anymore because they're not people who deserve it. And I'm not saying that Jamie Lee Curtis didn't deserve it. But, you know, they have a tendency to pick who they want to pick these days, you know. And they say, this is rigged. I'm not going to say it was rigged, but, you know, you kind of get the idea. Well, so-and-so maybe didn't have enough votes to get the win the Oscar, or who knows? Who knows? It just changed so much over the years. But listen, congratulations to Jamie Lee Curtis anyway. I loved her for years. I loved her movies for years. I still love her movies, you know, whenever you come out. And it was a great thing that she did. She paid homage to her mother and father who are no longer with us, Tony Curtis and Janet Leigh. They're no longer with us. I thought Janet Leigh, even though she didn't get a big part in Psycho back in the early days, back in 1959, I think she should have got at least nominated. Maybe she did get nominated for that part, but she never won an Oscar, never won an Oscar. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that's so much for the Oscars. Until next year, we hope that Angela Bassett comes out with something great and she doesn't get snubbed, because this is like the second time this happened to her. So Hollywood, if you want me back, if you want me to watch your shows again, get back on the up and up, because it wasn't. Okay, those of you who are just joining us, of course, the name of the show is called The Coffee Hour, and Brian Camp is with me. Well, he was with me, but he's not with me anymore. Who is not with me either is DJ Pete, but I am going to fill in for DJ Pete today, because DJ Pete is under the weather. So we have, he left us some birthdays. Let's kick it off right now. We're a little behind right now. March 12th, it passed already. James Taylor celebrated, there's a chime for James Taylor. James Taylor celebrated a birthday. James Taylor, as you already know, was once married to Carly Simon, and he made all of those great hits that you remember. You Have a Friend, and he was an American songwriter. He was a songwriter too. And he got inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2000. In the year 2000, he got inducted. So he's celebrating his birthday, or had celebrated his birthday on the 12th. And so we wish him a happy birthday. And he's still working. He's still working. Carly is still working. And I think him and Carly are still friends to this day. They were married, like I said, in the early years. I thought they were a great couple together. Okay, happy birthday, James Taylor. Okay, and March 13th, the day after, Neil Sedaka. Neil Sedaka, I play James Taylor records too, you know, when I was a jock. And also when I had my oldies show, Music Beat, I played a lot of Neil Sedaka. Neil Sedaka, birthday, he's 84 years old. Celebrated his birthday on the 13th. He's 84 years old. Neil Sedaka was born, and I'm partial to Neil Sedaka because he's a Brooklyn guy. He lives in LA now, but he's a Brooklyn guy. So happy birthday to Neil Sedaka. He made all of those great hits. Of course, Oh Carol, Calendar Girl, Breaking Up Was Hard to Do, all of those great hits he did. He's a legend. He's a legend in our repertoire today, and he's still alive. He's still working. I remember when the pandemic was in full force, a lot of the entertainers used to get online, especially on Facebook, and do live mini concerts for you. And Neil Sedaka was one of them, and so and he has a great voice. He writes. Carole King, who I think they used to date in the early years. They were both from Brooklyn, Carole King. They were both tremendous writers and producers. And so happy birthday, Neil Sedaka. Happy birthday to you and many, many more. Let's see, looking ahead, Les Brown. Going back to 1912 when he was born, March 14th, Les Brown. And there's a little chime for Les Brown. Now, Les Brown was born March 14th, like I said, and he passed away January 4th, 2001, at the age of 88 years old. Les Brown was an American jazz musician who back then worked with the big bands. And he had a band called Les Brown and his Band of Renown back then. So he was back then in the early years, along with Tommy Dorsey, Jimmy Dorsey, and all those big band people. He was back there with them. So we say a happy birthday in heaven to Les Brown. And as we move on, here's another guy. I used to play his records when I had my show Music Beat, because this was the oldies. Jimmy Carvello. Jimmy Carvello was born 1927, March 14th, 1927, just a couple of days ago. He passed away December 2nd in 2019 at the age of 92 years old. And he had a group called Jimmy Carvello and the House Rockers. And he was on some of those Allan Freed movies, and one in particular called Rock, 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 which, by the way, he recorded a tune called Rock, 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 a real high up-tempo thing. And so we say happy birthday in heaven to Jimmy Carvello. Every time I hear these guys and mention these guys, I kind of wish I was back in radio again, and people say, well, you can still get back in radio. I can, but I'm not going to look back. Harry James, speaking of the big band, Harry James, born on March 15th, back in 1916. Harry James, there's a little chime for Harry James. Harry James, who is famously known for his wed of Betty Grable. He was married to Betty Grable, the actress Betty Grable. Harry James died July 5th in 1983 at the age of 57 years old. I was pretty young. And Harry James was also a big band. He was a big band trumpeter. And he was known for that song, You Made Me Love You. He was known for that song instrumentally. And he was back there with all of those great guys like Tommy Dorsey and Jimmy Dorsey and all of those guys. So another legend, Harry James. And let's see, Lightning Hopkins, born March 15th, 1912. Do you know who he is? Well, his real name is Samuel John Lightning Hopkins, Samuel John Hopkins. And he died January 30th, back in 1982. He was an American country blues singer. He was a songwriter, guitarist, an occasional pianist. And he was born he came out of Centerville, Texas. And he goes back there a long time ago when the music was music, when the blues was spit and sweat, as they used to say. And that's the kind of blues that he played back then. And so we say happy birthday in heaven to Lightning Hopkins. Okay, Dominic J. Fontana. Dominic J. Fontana was born also on the 15th of March, but he was born in 1931. And Dominic died June 13th, 2018, at the age of 67 years old. Now, his real name, his given name was Dominic Joseph Fontana. And he was an American musician, best known as a drummer for Elvis Presley. He drummed for Elvis Presley for 14 years. In 1955, he was hired to play drums for Elvis Presley, which marked the beginning of his 15-year relationship. He played on over 460 RCA cuts with Elvis. So Fontana, Mr. Fontana. So we pay homage to Mr. Fontana as well. And last but not least, in March 18th, which by the way will be tomorrow, we'll be celebrating Wilson Pickett, the Wicked Wilson Pickett. He was born in 1941, and the Wicked Wilson Pickett, he passed away January 19th in 2006 at the age of 64 years old. He's a soul singer. He was best for his song In the Midnight Hour, Don't Let the Green Grass Fool You, Engine Number 9, Don't Knock My Love, Funky Broadway, Mustang Sally, and on and on. In the, if I mention them all, I just won't have much time in the show. And I had an opportunity to actually see him in concert. I remember one time growing up as a kid, as a teenager, we used to have this in Brooklyn, downtown Brooklyn. There was this theater called the Albee Theater in Brooklyn. It's no longer there, of course. It's now the Albee Mall. It's a big mall now. But they had the Albee Theater in Brooklyn. And I used to always go to these theaters, the Paramount, the Brooklyn Albee Theater, and the Brevoort Theater, and all these places to see all of these groups. And Wilson Pickett was one of them. And I went to see him. I had a chance to see him in person. So never met him personally, but always played his records too as a disc jockey as well. So happy birthday in heaven, Wicked Wilson Pickett. That's what we call them, the Wicked Wilson Pickett. And thank you, DJ Pete, for sending us all of that information. DJ Pete, you can catch on his radio show. You can catch him on www.radio-airwaves.co.uk. That's www.radio-airwaves.co.uk. You can catch him Thursdays from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Also, you can catch him on his hometown station, WMPG. WMPG is in Portland, Maine. And if you can't get access to WMPG on the radio, there's always a website, www.wmpg.org. And that's every other Tuesday between 8:30 p.m. and 10 p.m. All times Eastern Time Zone and USA and Canada. And so we thank you so much for that. Birthdays today. Actor Rob Lowe is 59 years old today. The late actress Dana Reeves, who was married to Christopher Reeve, who played Superman, she would have been 62 years old. Actor Kurt Russell is 72 today. Actor Patrick Duffy, that's Irish if I haven't heard it. Patrick Duffy is 74 years old. Patrick, happy St. Patrick's Day to you, Patrick. Laddie. Okay, and singer John Sebastian, 79 years old today. The late Don Mitchell, who played on Ironside. He was the guy that used to always push Raymond Burr's wheelchair, right? Don Mitchell, the late Don Mitchell, he would have been 80 years old today. And of course, the late Nat King Cole would have been 104 years old today. Nat King Cole. Mona Lisa, man has made you. What a song, what a guy. Okay, and those are birthdays today. And so there you all have them. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, if you'd like to get in touch with me personally, we can do that. All you have to do is, I have an email address and a telephone number. My email address is frankallenprod@aol.com. That's frankallenprod@aol.com. Or you can call me at 641-715-3900, extension 467-134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467-134. Now, You may have something to say about the show. You have questions about the show. Why we're here? Don't know. Couldn't give you the answer to that. But I can tell you, I'll give you the answer. But I can tell you, you could always question us about the show if you have any questions, or if you have any suggestions and ideas on what to do to implement other things into the show, we'll do that. We listen to everyone. And even if you just want to say just a simple hello, which of course you can do right now too. If you want to say a simple hello, that's fine too. Either way, get in contact with us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Let me give you that email address again. It's Frank Allan Prod. Remember to spell Allan, A-L-L-A-N. A-L-L-A-N. Prod is P-R-O-D. That's short for Productions. Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. That's Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. Telephone number is 641-715-3900, extension 467134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467134. We look forward to hearing from you. I do. I look forward to hearing from you. And those of you who don't want to take part in the show verbally, you can contact us just as well. But we always look forward to hearing from you. We always want to hear from you. I want to say hello to Cheryl Devon Walker. Hello. Happy St. Patrick's Day to you. Thanks for joining us, and the rest of you for joining us too. I would like to know what kind of weather forecast is happening in the UK. If Lynette is still out there, if you kindly give us a weather forecast. I'd like to know. Oh, maybe she's not in. Maybe she's in Africa. I don't know. Wherever you are, give me a weather forecast. Let me know if you dare. All right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, as you already know, that each week. I bring you movies, right? Bring you those movies, those classic movies that you like, my hand-picked movies. I have picks of the week. And you may want to check out catch up on some movies. So I just want to add a couple of movies onto your bucket of list of movies, what to watch this weekend. So let's get started right now. You like musicals and comedy combined. Here's one for you. This is a classic one, goes back to 1959, starring Doris Day and Rock Hudson. It's called Pillow Talk. And you can catch that Friday. That's tonight. Where we stand is Friday night. It's Friday morning right now. That's Friday at 10 p.m. Eastern. That's tonight on Turner Classic Movies. Also, we go back in time to 1940. A thing called The Philadelphia Story, starring Katharine Hepburn, and Cary Grant, and James Stewart. That's on Saturday. Turner Classic Movies at 12 p.m. That's 12 noon. And that's Philadelphia Story. That movie actually spun off High Society, which was done with Bing Crosby and Frank Sinatra. And some of the dialogue was the same, but not all of it. But I don't like remakes of movies normally, but I got to say, they run neck and neck. Philadelphia Story and High Society, they're both good movies. And so you might want to watch it. And if you so desire to, you can go on Turner Classic Movies and check out more movies. There may be something else that I didn't mention, but these are only my picks. Something else that you may want to watch, you see there, you just go to the program guide, scroll down, scroll across or whatever, and you see other movies. And if you don't get a chance to watch these movies in real time, you can also DVR them. And that's good to know, right? In technology today, you can do anything. So let me go over these movies one more time. There are only two. My picks of the week: Pillow Talk with Doris Day and Rock Hudson. That's Friday tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern. And The Philadelphia Story with Katharine Hepburn, Cary Grant, and James Stewart. That's tomorrow, Saturday at 12 noon. And you can check it right there on Turner Classic Movies. And I think you'll like it. And of course, if you like documentaries too, also go on Movie on Demand. It's all there. It's all there for you. That's all. That's it. Guys, thank you so much for being along with us. Thank you, Cheryl, again for that and for that kind word of yours. And you have a nice weekend. You guys have a great St. Patrick's Day. Enjoy the rest of it. And be wise, be smart, and be careful out there. We're going to come back here Thursday at 8 p.m. for Talk Back Live, right? Brian Camp will be with me with sports. And of course, I hope that you're there. You can chime in on conversation. We can do it all together. Other than that, I will make an appointment, and I hope you will too, to be back here next Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern for more of the Coffee Hour with Brian Camp on Sports 2020 feature. He does the first part of the 2020 feature. DJ Peach does the second part of the 2020 feature, bringing in entertainment news and reciting all of those birthdays of people of notoriety. Okay, so until then, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to wear your green and have a safe and wonderful St. Patrick's Day, a great weekend, and I will see you all back here soon. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye.
You've been watching the Coffee Hour with your host Frank Allan. The producer has been Al Dale. Technical assistant Dave Taylor. Research by Sandy Pierce. And I'm your announcer Donna Stenke. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time on the Coffee Hour.